Hi, I'm Dr. Marcus Earle. I've been here for 37 years now, so it just keeps clicking away. And the reason I got in this field was a mystery for me a long time. It seemed to just kind of fall in my lap. So I was an undergrad and I was exploring which classes. I tried oceanography, I tried astronomy, I tried lots of things, and they were just too much science for me. I discovered very quickly. And I was taking psychology and some religion classes, and so I ended up going those two directions, and that started the trajectory. It's hard to ignore that my father was already in this field, so he was a minister the first 10 years of my life. And then he started this practice in '73, and so that influence was profound. You know, one, work. Two is he really enjoyed his work. To see your dad doing something that he enjoyed, that's going to get through to you. I always envied the way he was social and engaged people, and so I think that was an ongoing inspiration. You know, my mom was the type of person that really liked to engage deeply with people, that she really would be more comfortable, you know, with a heart-to-heart conversation. She's also kind of uncomfortable with that. So I have that whole mixture in me, and so thankfully that started the path, and was very fortunate to get rejected from clinical psychology programs. So my test scores and grades did not support me getting in with the intellectual elite. I was not. What I did do well is with relationships, and so I went the marriage and family therapy route, and that really spoke to me, to be in an environment where what's emphasized is, you know, not the individual, but the individual within a context. And the context can be their relationships, it can be their work, it can be activities, it's friends, it's so much. And that kind of thing made a lot more sense to me than just the individual alone on an island, isolated. And then I got to do really fun things in working with couples. You know, so creative back then, learned hypnosis. So it really stretched my mind. So that was the beginning of growth for me. I was very fortunate before I joined, because that was a big decision, you know, to come to this practice and join my father. Marilyn Murray was starting off her career with her model, and so she was offering a training to my dad and the current therapist at the time. And so I came out, I was just about done with my program, the ripe old age of 27. In addition to learning her model is for it to be experiential. Doing the training, in quotes, which was /therapy with Marilyn, just opened up a broader perspective of who I was. It didn't happen quickly, and that's why I talk to clients, you know, if you think you're behind, hey, it was about 54 until I really woke up. And so this past decade has been a tremendous amount of growth, has been difficult and both really encouraging for me and for my parents. I'm grateful to parents willing to stay in the conversation, you know, and not just shut it down, even though there were shutdowns and moments, both by me and by them, which I think is common and typical. It was just a very meaningful, very necessary process for me to get settled, more settled inside of me. And it's taken some of the drivenness and moderated it some. So now I'm actually slowing down a little bit, which really isn't just about age, because the age thing I don't think was slowing me down. I'm just slowing, which has been great. So what would clients be helped in knowing and coming to work with me? Probably not knowing would be more helpful. Just walk in and be willing. You know, for me, it's become this experience. So each session for me is an experience of sitting with people. And each time it's new. When it starts to feel the same, then I've got to pay attention to that. How come it's starting to feel the same? And so that means generally I got to do something different. I've got to get something happening that hasn't been happening. From the get-go, though, really my entire emphasis is to understand. I just know that I've sat with enough people now where to be understood, to be seen, to be heard, to feel like somebody knows you, actually cares to understand your worldview, your perspective, your hurts, your successes, and how all that mixes together and what makes it difficult to move forward. You know, that's what I think creates a real deep spiritual experience that then becomes magical, you know, in the process of therapy. So I'd like to say it's about technique. It's not. You know, it's about presence. Another piece of my work that I find deeply meaningful is when I can sit with somebody and they can have an experience with self to where they reach a deep part of them that's felt shame and felt unseen and unheard. I'm wrong, there's something bad with me. When they can reach down and spend time with that part of them, that's the shift that I celebrate with somebody, because when you can do that, you're letting yourself know, I've got me, you know, and if I can have that sense that I've got me, then the world becomes a lot less scary. An environment that I can walk through, you know, that I can take care of myself through, and no matter what happens, I can always be with myself and reach out to the people that I know are safe. That's just a marvelous place to be as we all walk through this really difficult thing that's called life.